Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. This is so exciting to be here this evening, and I know that the youth of Ghana have joined us from all the regions, Upper West, Upper East, Savannah, Northeast, Northern region, Bono East, Bono, Ahafo, Western North, Western region, Ashanti region, Volta region, Oti region, Central region, Eastern region, and Greater Accra region. Thank you all for making the time, and I greet all of you. I wish you a very good evening. Fellow ladies and gentlemen, youth of this country, tomorrow will be exactly 12 months to the day I was elected by a clear majority of the New Patriotic Party to lead the party as its presidential candidate for the 2024 elections. 34 days from today, you, the millions of young people of Ghana, will form the majority among the 18.7 million voters who are expected to cast their ballots. Your task is to perform two simple but extremely important duties. One, choose a parliamentary candidate to represent your constituency in the 9th Parliament. Secondly, you will be choosing the next president whose responsibility is to provide for your present, to facilitate your future. From what I gathered in my interactions with you as I went around the country, I can sum up the priorities of the majority of you in 3 categories: education, skills, and jobs. Once you have an education and you acquire employable skills, what is left is to thrive in an economic environment which can generate a large and expansive pool of good jobs with good pay, whether as an entrepreneur, self-employed, or employee. In my conversation with you today, I will touch on all 3 and the business-friendly environment that my government, inshallah, will generate to make it all possible. I will outline the bold economic solutions that we plan to roll out, which will make it possible to create millions of jobs if I am given the mandate on December 7th, 2024. I have chosen this occasion to have a conversation with you, the young people of Ghana, mainly to remind you of the commitment I made to you exactly a year ago to make you my #1 priority. My commitment is to transform Ghana, to build on the economic recovery we are witnessing by introducing bold, business-friendly policy initiatives from January 2025, which are designed to stimulate significant economic activity. I am confident that these initiatives will create the large pool of diverse jobs that the young people of Ghana desire and deserve. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little indication about my faith in what is possible for us to achieve together, beginning January 2025. The growth of the Ghanaian economy has been revised upwards to 4% for 2024 and higher in 2025. To put it into perspective, the economy grew by a mere 3.4% in 2016, the last year under President John Mahama. In fact, in 2025, Standard & Poor's is more buoyant with their forecast at 5.4%. I am even more optimistic that it is possible to do even more if, with your vote, you elect me as your next president and we implement my comprehensive business-friendly and job creation programs as outlined in the MPP manifesto, some of which I will highlight here. I'm seeing from the online numbers as I speak that more and more of you are watching and listening to me live across the country and beyond. I thank you for your attention. I know many of you will be voting for the first time next month. Indeed, 8 years ago, many of you were too young then and therefore could not vote in 2016. Perhaps too young to remember self-inflicted crisis and homegrown hardships that my opponent put the nation through at a time when the whole global economy was rather stable and growing. You may not remember much that Ghanaians endured unforgiving doomsday for well over 4 years. If we were lucky, the lights would come on some part of the day and off for a whole 24 hours the next day, and so on. Barbers and hairdressers worked to earn just enough, if they were lucky, to pay for diesel for the small generator they had borrowed. The situation led to severe low productivity across board. Factories could not stay open for months, let alone 24 hours. And several Ghanaians lost their jobs as a result of the bad leadership choices of my opponent. The banks were bleeding. Some senior high schools had to shut down because the government refused to pay their feeding grant for 2 years. In 2016, just a few years after we became an oil-producing country, Ghana's economy, to the shock of the world, suffered its lowest growth rate for more than a generation. The situation was so bad for young people that a new group was formed with impressive membership nationwide. The name of that group was Unemployed Graduates Association. Coincidentally, the president then is the same man who is my opponent, or who would be my opponent on Saturday, December 7th. I know some of you may not be too eager to vote. I do not blame you if you have bought into the view that all politicians are the same and that your vote won't make any difference.